Hi, welcome to the 6i6 Skin Image Analysis Workshop at CVPR 2021. My name is Emre Celebi. My colleagues involved in the organization of this workshop are Katerina Barata, Alan Halpern, Philip Shandel, Mark Kombalia, and Yuan Liu. So, although our workshop focuses on skin image analysis in general, we have historically received most of our articles from the skin cancer domain. So today I'm going to talk to you about the general skin cancer image analysis domain, a popular subfield of this called Thermoscopy image analysis. I will then talk about the growth of these two fields through the release of public data sets, journal special issues, challenges, and workshops, and finally conclude with today's workshop. So there are many skin imaging modalities. Two of the most popular are clinical and dermoscopic images. So on the left, we see a clinical image. These are the images that we acquire using ordinary cameras with no attachments. And on the right, we see the same lesion image under a dermoscope. And you can see that there are many more details. The pigment networks are far more visible, the globules are more visible, and so on. So because of the wealth of information that it reveals, dermoscopy has become a very important modality in imaging of skin cancer. So let's talk about the general field. Skin cancer image analysis refers to the automated analysis of skin cancer images. The first article is generally accepted to be Casanelli et al. From 1987. However, earlier in the same decade, some lesser known articles have been published. So until the mid-90s, most of the papers in this domain, most of the studies involved clinical images. So let's talk about dermoscopy image analysis, which is far more popular nowadays than clinical image analysis. The first article was probably Binder et al. From 1994. And as I said, nowadays dermoscopy is the dominant modality in automated image analysis. There are clinical image analysis papers coming out, but not nearly with as much frequency. So what are the typical tasks in skin cancer image analysis or dermoscopy image analysis? Most studies deal with one or more of these tasks. Segmentation, which is the localization of the lesion. Feature extraction is the extraction of typically numerical features so as to characterize the lesion. And classification is using these extracted features, diagnosing the type of the lesion. There are many other tasks that we can accomplish using these images. For example, we can improve the acquisition process so that we obtain better quality images with more information and less noise. We can enhance the images post-acquisition, which refers to color balancing, contrast, enhancement, bubble removal, hair removal, and so on. We can retrieve similar images to a given query image. For example, we have a lesion image at hand. We want to see what are the top 5 most similar lesions in our large database. That's content-based retrieval. And we can monitor the evolution of lesions to see if they are becoming more malignant or staying benign. So one way to quantify the growth of a field is by looking at the number of journal articles published per year. Here's a plot from 1987 to 2019. Please note that we have only
examine articles that were published in reputable venues, not every article that shows up on Google Scholar. So these the years with red arrows indicate spikes in publication production, and they coincide with the special issues, not surprisingly. And I will talk about special issues in a minute. So we had a special issue in 1992, 2011, and 2019, where we had many more publications published. So this trend indicates a growing field. In 2020, over 100 articles have been published, and if you look at 2019, the numbers are around 75. So it's accelerating. The field is accelerating. So it is difficult to grow a field where data is so important without large and high quality data sets. And ISIC played an important role in the release of the largest data sets to date. The ISIC 2016 data set was actually not much larger than the EDRA Atlas, which had about 1,000 images. But the next year it doubled, and the next year it increased by 6-fold. Next year it doubled again. Finally, last year the ISIC dataset reached 33,000 training images roughly, and that is more than 30 times larger than the dataset 5 years ago. So that is an impressive growth, given that it is difficult to collect these images. The ISIC 2021 dataset will be released between the end of this year and early 2022. I don't have the numbers for that dataset at the moment, but so another indicator of a growing field is the publication of journal special issues. Hot fields usually have sometimes even parallel special issues running at any given time. So the first special issue in this domain was from 1992. That is a pretty early special issue, given that the earliest papers date back to mid-80s. Then the next special issue came in 20 years later, and one of the most recent special issues was in 2019. This year we organized a special issue in medical image analysis. It will be published most likely at the beginning of 2022 or at the end of 2021. So we received a record number of publications, which is even for this popular journal, it's 70 submissions in a special issue is very large. And I would like to also thank at this point our reviewers who were happy to help us out vetting the quality of these papers. The next special issue will be in the IEEE JVHI. In the closing remarks, Katerina Barata will talk a little bit more about this. So we hope that you can consider our special issue for your publications. So yet another indicator of a growing field is the organization of challenges and workshops related to the field. And we have organized a number of challenges and workshops, starting with the ISB 2016 and 27, then we moved on to MICAI, and then last couple of years it's mostly CVPR. Some of these events were related to challenges, some of them were related to workshops, and some of them both especially the early ones were mixing the two tasks. So I'd like to talk a little about workshop statistics and conclude my talk. We received 20 submissions. That's about half the submissions we received last year, and the culprit you can guess. We accepted 6 of these submissions, which led to an acceptance rate of 30%. So I have already emailed all of the participants, or most of the people who would be interested the workshop program, but I'd like to
go briefly over it. At about 12 p.m. Central Time, we will have 3 invited talks back to back, each half an hour. The videos are available on our website, but we will also stream the videos during the allotted time periods, and you can ask questions to the speakers through the chat box, or when the video streaming concludes, you can also ask directly to the presenter. So please connect to the Zoom session. Don't just watch the videos, but try to interact with the participants. Then we have starting, and there's going to be a half an hour break, and then starting with 2:12, we will have 6 paper presentations, again back to back, each 18 minutes. Once again, the videos will be available on the website, but they will also be streamed during the a lot of time periods, so you can ask questions either through chat or verbally. At 4 p.m. Central Time, we will have a discussion panel. The panels are given on the website. We will ask questions to our panelists and get their opinions, and you will also get a chance to ask them questions again through the chat function. Finally, at 5 p.m. Central Time, Katerina Barata will give the closing remarks and announce the workshop awards. So here's the workshop schedule. Again, the website has all the slides, talks, and everything else, program information, and so on. So as I mentioned, we on the website there will be two paper awards. One is best paper, the other is honorable mention, and these will be announced at the end of the workshop during the closing remarks session. We would like to thank our sponsors, Canfield Scientific and Google, for supporting us logistically and monetarily. Our invited speakers for their time and effort, our authors for their time and effort in preparing their publications and presenting them, and our reviewers for their time to review these papers. Finally, the CVPR workshop chairs did an outstanding job this year. They had over 70 workshops, and they were always on top of the schedule. So it is a very difficult job to be a workshop chair. So we really appreciate their efforts. I would like to wish you all an informative and interesting workshop, and also I hope that you can participate in the general conference. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.